Hello and welcome back to the 2025 Brewster Ridge Open driven by Innova. It is our Q Series event brought to you by Disc Golf Vermont and Smugglers Notch. I'm Emily Dale, joined by Nathan Johnson.
Yeah, hey, this is so much fun. I love these courses. Vermont's great, beautiful this time of year. And we got a nice fun feature card for you guys in round one. Paul Krans was able to get out to a nice hot start. He's leading the pack at 3 down. Jesse Longenecker, Eli Brandt, and Dylan Capaccioli are looking to make up some ground, make things interesting here. It's a 3-round event. 2 rounds at Fox Run, 1 round at Brewster Ridge.
And you better not be Googling the answer to our trivia question. We'll give you the answer after hole 10, but no cheating.
Speaking of which, let's get into it. Hole 10, par 3, 295 feet. Pretty open hole on the left side. Plays well for a nice righty forehand. Just swing something out wide, play it back to the right, and try to stick it inbounds on this hill.
Also, if you don't know what trivia question we're talking about, just go watch the front 9, you silly gooses.
Yeah, what are you guys doing here if you haven't seen the front 9? I mean, this is disc golf coverage 101. What was that ground play from Eli? That was a great looking shot, and it just took a weird little skip and roll out. Finds the out of bounds on the left side. Not what you're looking for here on hole 10. Paul making a nice adjustment, sticks it inside the circle.
Yeah, I mean, with the exception of hole 2 and that drive that was a little bit long, Paul's been playing pretty hot out here, and Dylan was not happy with that. And you see why. Finds that OB long.
Yeah, finds the out of bounds as well. Just pulled it a little wide. Not a hole you want to drop a stroke on. Those are also going to be quite long par save putts for both of those guys. Jesse looking to use that, make the adjustment. Calling for the 1 time, but coming up a bit short. He'll take the birdie, though.
Yeah, not too upset with that.
Just a bit high for Dylan on the par save. We'll see if Eli's able to knock it down out in the 40-foot range. Most likely a little step-through putt from him. He gets it.
Online all the way. Great par save.
Yeah, it's a big one to keep him at 1 down. Has some good momentum going. We'll see if he can keep it up here down the stretch. Paul Krans, short birdie putt.
Makes good on it. That had some oomph to it.
Yeah, spins that one in to get to 4 under par. And a short tap in for birdie as well for Jesse. Looking to climb his way back under par. Plenty of opportunities here if he can just keep himself in bounds, struggling to get the right disc stability in this wind out here. See if he can make some adjustments on the back 9 as we take a look at the answer to this trivia question.
Oh,
exactly
wow.
100. There we go.
That was weirdly even. Nice. If you got it correct, gold star for you.
Jumping into hole 11, par 4, 575 feet. 1 tree in the way if you're landing anywhere up in this fairway. It is going to be a very playable approach over the rock wall and down the hill into a highly protected green. Plays best for a nice soft putter turnover shot if you've got it with the righty backhand. But you might see some forehands into this green as well. There's OB quite close behind the basket. So distance control is going to be important as well.
Yeah, Paul's heating up. That was a great drive there. Puts him in a pretty ideal spot. Center fairway.
Yeah, obviously more distance is helpful on this approach shot, but you don't really need much more than 400 feet or so to set yourself up in a position to attack. So players just throwing whatever stability they're comfortable with. Jesse with a great shot as well. Gets a little bit of ground play as also to get him just a little bit closer.
Somebody's closer.
Exactly. And I get a feeling we might be saying that one more time here. Eli got a very big arm on him. Let's see how big he decides to go off this tee shot.
If this can get some stability. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that might actually be a little too far. It's going to be kind of a weird angle for him to approach the green from there. Just kind of maybe potentially pinched off on that right-hand side. We'll see what it looks like. Dylan, this comes out a bit low.
Trims the grass, but stays inbound, or gets its way inbounds.
Yeah, just barely back inbounds. That would have been a tough break if he stayed OB. Would have had to go pretty far back. This one's a bit sawed off. Finds the right side out of bounds.
Here's that little floaty putter turnover shot that you were talking about. Trying to land softly. Just get enough ground play, but that's gonna be a little bit short. It'll be a tricky putt downhill for him.
Yeah, here's that awkward angle we were talking about. And a weird distance, too. I mean, Eli bit off so much off the tee. This is just like a short little chip forehand. And it kind of works. Gets through the backside, and it's going to have a putt.
Jesse just going with a jump putt. Again, just a little bit short up the hill. Looks like there might be some trees in the way.
Yeah, I didn't quite turn that one enough. It faded out a bit early for Jesse, so difficult birdie putt for him. Paul just going to lay up here from the top of the hill. Just fine. Content with the par. Jesse's been doing his morning yoga.
Good grief. Kids these days. All right, great putt there. And turning it back on. I mean, getting some strokes back here in the last 2 holes.
Yeah, nice little beginnings of a turnaround for Jesse. He's got himself to 1 over par. Dylan with a nice par save after finding the out of bounds on his upshot keeps himself at even par.
Good birdie there from Eli as well, as we'll see Paul tap in his par.
Overall, pretty well played hole from the card. As we head into hole 12, par 4, 720 feet. A couple different tees on this hole this year. We're playing the shorter tee. The par 4 position players are looking to throw their tee shot short of this out of bounds line and then attack on a big second shot somewhere in the 400, high 300 foot range to maybe get themselves a look at this one. Very difficult hole. Short tee shot, big second shot, and potentially a birdie look.
It's looking early, and did that just get a kick back into the fairway?
I think that was a great break for Jesse. Just pulled that one right out of the hand and stayed safe, though. So, fortunate break. He's definitely out of birdie range from there, but very savable par. Eli, this is more what you're looking for. Just puts himself on the top of that hill and in a position to go big on his next shot.
Paul going a little bit wider as well, but checking up nicely, finding himself right at the top of that hill.
Yep, good shot for him as well, Dylan. Shocker. Forehand.
Never would have guessed it.
Nice placement shot for him as well, though. That's going to find the middle of the fairway.
I think it got quite back in the fairway for Jesse.
Yeah, actually, not really even that close to the out of bounds. So kind of a weird result, but fortunate result for him. Going to go forehand over the out of bounds area on his second, just a layup here to put himself back in position and hope for the par. All right, so big second shots for all of these guys. Looking at that 400-foot plus range to get a look. Nicely thrown from Paul, coming up just a bit short, but definitely in his range.
This is just hyzering a little bit too early. Looks like it does stay safe. He's oh boy, just by inches. But you have to wonder if his run-up had anything to do with that. It looked like his run-up had some trees and branches in the way. Maybe not full commitment on his reach back. But Paul, oh sorry, I think that was Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan
good
with the big
adjustment.
forehand. Yeah, great second shot for him.
And I mean, Jesse's gonna be happy with that par.
Yeah, after that tee shot could have been in a lot worse shape, and just two good safe shots to get himself back in position, and gonna have a nice stress-free par. Not the best layup we've ever seen from Eli. Kind of got killed by the wind there. Paul's still on a heater.
But, goodness.
Knocks down another one from circle 2 to get himself now to 5 under par. Really heating up in the middle part of this course. Difficult part of this course too. A lot of opportunities for stroke swings either way. As you can see, the rest of our cards struggling to keep it clean. Paul has just been super consistent.
This is the remainder of what Jesse has to save his par after the errant tee shot. Makes good on it. Just a little bit. Squeaks it in.
Yeah, a tap-in forehand birdie from Dylan is no joke on this one. Very impressive.
And here's our check-in. We see Paul starting to pull away, putting some distance between him and some of our other players on our leaderboard here.
Take a look at hole 13, a 350-foot par 3, flying over the out of bounds at the moment. Players are most likely going to aim at this light post here with some right to left moving shot. The righty backhand plays very well for a nice little skip up into this green, hopefully leaving yourself with a short uphill birdie putt.
You'll be curious to see how Dylan attacks this one. But first we have Paul up, like you said, trying to really hit that power line, get some hyzer in, just like this.
Yeah, beautifully played. And okay, here we go.
Okay.
First backhand of the day. Better late than never. Take a look at it for Dylan. And bit of a yank.
He did not like it. You saw him react immediately.
Jesse now. This one has looking like it has some good width if it gets the ground play.
Oh, not that ground play.
That is not the ground play he
No.
wanted.
No way.
But yes.
That's a
Wow.
brutal roll. Wow.
And he's probably very confused from his position on the tee. What just
Not
happened.
yet, but he will be in about 3 minutes when he walks down the fairway and has no idea where his disc is. That's a very unfortunate break.
Called provisional. Yeah, provisional. Are you gonna re-tee?
It'll be a tricky putt there. As we see Dylan re-teeing here.
Yeah, went out of bounds on that right side. Not much he can really do from there, so just going to re-tee, opts for the traditional play and the forehand. Just coming up short in those woods.
Eli's gonna have to finagle something through these skinny trees.
Yeah, and he loves it out of the hand. Let's go. What a putt.
That was a sick shot.
Yeah, let's take another look. Got a nice little window and just walks it right in. What a confident stroke. Gets him to 3 under par.
Here's Jesse. Looked like his disc stood up and I was worried for another one, but it did settle down there for him.
And honestly, not a bad look for Dylan to save the 4 after throwing his 3rd shot from the tee. But just a bit low, so that's going to be an unfortunate double bogey for him. Paul Krans, the heater continues. Gets him to 6 down after getting 4 of the last 5.
Yeah, nothing too loud, just consistent, and he's putting well. He's driving clean.
That's all it takes out here.
Yeah,
I mean,
easy stuff, right?
Obviously easier said than done, but sure looks easy when Paul does it. Taking a look at hole 14, a 380-foot par 3, out of bounds on this right-hand side as we come into this very protected green. Some players will choose to go for the wide hyzer route and swing it in late. Other players will go for the more direct route and try to skip it up through that gap. Both very viable options. You just have to hope that they're, if you do take that wide route, somebody places an umbrella in a perfect position to keep you in bounds. Nice looking shot for Paul. Comes up just a bit short.
Eli taking that straighter route does get caught up before the gap there. He'll be left right outside the opening there.
Yeah, fortunate to not roll back down the hill. You see some weird ground play sometimes on this one with the slope on that right side of the green. Jesse going for the wide gap. It's going to have to get a little sneaky. Yeah, and that'll work. That's inside the circle.
Dylan taking the forehand route, finding himself kind of in this collection zone where we're seeing many of our our feature card players.
Yep, common result on this one to be about 40, 50 feet short and have kind of a weird little putt through a gap. Kind of like this one. Eli just made one on the last hole. Can he do it again?
So Eli likes gaps. Fortunately, this one was just a little off. Great birdie there for Dylan.
Yeah, no foot fault. He's outside the circle.
He's
okay to follow through. Yep. Paul's in a similar spot, probably in that 35-foot range. There's a bit of a heat check for him.
Pulled it a little bit wide. I think sometimes going into that straddle can just tweak your putt a little bit.
Yeah, timing just a bit off. Jesse with a birdie look, able to connect. Nicely done. He's just been trying his best to fight back under par after that tough 3-hole stretch on the front 9.
Interesting little stretch here.
Knocks it down. A lot of pars on this hole is not a surprising result. 51% of the field doing just that. So these guys are not losing much ground, or any ground actually, with that result. Take a look at hole 15. Another par 3, 315 feet. Tight wooded gap that goes straight for about 290, and then bends back to the right just at the end. A nice stable fairway driver forehand will probably do the trick for most of these guys. And hopefully, if you sneak your way through, you'll have a birdie look.
Just love this view of the woods over here at Fox Run. There'll be a nice little switch up tomorrow as we head into Brewster. And a great shot there from Jesse if we can get some ground play.
Yeah, looks like it did. He's going to be inside the circle, almost too deep. Kind of snuck through on the backside just a little bit. Got a nice looking shot nonetheless. This one looks wide from Dylan, but also gets through.
Oh, yeah, that'll play.
That'll play for sure. Tap in birdie coming up for him. Gonna get back under par for the first time in a little bit. Paul now, this one looks good as well.
Looks like it just caught a late tree. He'll have a look from there though.
Yep, long look for Paul. This is not a very wide fairway, especially after playing all these open holes, and wasn't going for the announcer jinx there for Eli. But
You're really good at it.
I was just surprised that these guys had all hit the gap so far, because that is a rarity to see a card go 4 for 4 on this one. A little wide on the upshot there for Eli as well, so now he's got this long look for par. Maybe 50 feet or so.
Money. His putter is on fire here today.
Yeah, watching it again for the second time. Just right on the pole, never a doubt. It's been really nice from circle 2. Paul's putt also been looking good from distance. Let's see if he can make another long one. Right around that same 50-foot distance. Oh, yeah.
Sheesh.
Give it to him. 7 under par for Paul Krans. Just spinning it in from deep.
Yeah, huge confidence strokes out here. Makes you nervous to be the next one to putt, though.
I know, right? Yeah. Don't want to get double big putted. Jesse, though, that 20-footer is not a problem for him. Gets himself back to even par. Really fighting to just stay in this thing.
And that gets Dylan under par as well. Oh, we get a double header of some big putts as we check in on our leaderboard. Paul Krans still kind of running away with it with that -7 hot round, closely followed by the rest of the field.
Just a couple holes left here in round 1. Hole 16 is a 715-foot par 4. Most players are going to go with a slower disc, mid-range, maybe fairway driver off the tee, looking to land somewhere around there. Then they'll have to throw over this short OB patch into this open fairway and up to the green. Another one of these kind of reverse par 4s where you have a shorter placement tee shot followed by a longer second shot. Really challenging these players to be precise off the tee and hit a landing
I love hole
zone.
designs like this, and I think it looks like Jesse, unfortunately, found himself over on that left-hand side. It's going to be tricky to navigate. I like the slower discs play. Just stay in the middle, play for the placement.
Yeah, definitely is the idea. Obviously, easier said than done. Jesse did ask. There is not out of bounds on either side of the fairway on this one. Tough break there for Dylan. Yeah, it was looking great, but just kicks all the way into that right side. Basically, if you're off the fairway on this one, you're forced to basically just pitch out back to the fairway to go across. You can't really bite off much else.
This is looking good, though.
Money indeed. Can't do much better than that.
So Paul, the only one to really find the fairway. Jesse, on the other side of the wall, like you mentioned, is safe. However, he probably doesn't feel very safe over there.
Yeah, still a difficult shot just to get himself back into the fairway. And that one just leaks off a little bit. I don't know what he's really going to have from there. Might have to lay up again.
Eli's staying right on the edge again. Oh. Yeah. Taking the medicine. Good placement shot there. You see how far Dylan hit the tree so lightly and how far he got in the woods over here on the right-hand side. Forced to go overhand.
Oh, and he gets out, and honestly in a great spot. Might even have a long look from there. That was a hero shot through a wall of trees over there on the right-hand side. Just to get out is a feat of its own. Now you can see what a ideal drive looks like. Paul Krans still quite a bit left, but he absolutely laces it up into circle one. The kid is on fire.
This is Eli's tricky footing, possibly in that wall over there on the right or left-hand side.
Yeah, but good throw. Just laying up back into the fairway. Across that out of bounds. Jesse looking to get up and down to save a bogey now. This needs to go a little bit.
Yeah, he probably wanted a little bit more turn. It's a little bit more meat on the bone than he probably wants for his bogey save. I can't believe this got out this far. It was a great shot from where he was up on the hill.
Yeah, so just a short little pitch up for Eli to save what should be par, or this should be a bogey save for him. Oh, Dylan, full commitment there.
Full sendies.
You love to see it.
Great bogey save there from Jesse. Like you said, he's hanging on.
Yeah, he's been battling. Just doesn't quite have his A game this round, but he's just trying his best to stay in there. The putter's been good. Made some clutch ones when he needed to. Trying to keep himself in this tournament.
Look at his scorecard down there. 1 par in the last 9 holes.
Yeah, tough way to play this course, but you know, got to do what you got to do. Long putt here for Eli. This is for a bogey. Kind of an awkward tree in his way too. Has to go to the straddle.
Fortunately, can't connect on that one. He'll have to settle for a double. Here's what Dylan is left with for his par. After really just fighting his way through this hole.
Yeah. I guarantee you this hole has never been played like that before. I'll tell you that. that was maybe a once ever type of par. I'm sure he is happy to move on to 17 with a par.
Good cleanups there.
All right, taking a look at hole 17. 400-foot par 3. Big right to left moving shot. Most players just going to throw that big stalling righty backhand. This is a hole that you got to throw a bunch of them in practice to try to get that distance control right. As we say hello to these guys having a nice little party on the green. You love to see it. Love to see the good vibes out there.
Dab, dab, dab it up.
Tough to know how wide to put it. The OBA deep can kind of come into play if you're not careful. Paul coming up just a bit short. That's going to be a bit of a scary putt with the down a hill slope behind that basket. We'll see how aggressive he gets being on the heater that he is currently riding.
This has the height. And perfect execution there for Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse close to getting back to even par yet again. If he's able to connect on that short one, see if Eli can kind of use that aiming point to follow in his footsteps. This one looks good as well if it's got the right distance. Oh, it's a little deep.
No. Oh, did that come back in? Oh, no. Unfortunately, it stays OB. And that's going to be a tricky spot. I don't know that he'll be able to really run that putt to save a par.
Yeah, it's going to be a probably 50-foot downhill look for him.
But he does love those putts.
It's true. He's made a bunch of them already. He's probably feeling confident, too. But the poker face, I don't know. What's he thinking?
He's going for it, of course. And that's why. Good golly.
Why not? If you're on a heater, why not? Right? I mean, come on, kid. Let's go. What a putt. Well, now Paul's got to run it, right? Can't lay up after that.
Well, that was a safe little semi-sendies.
Yeah, half bid from Paul. Coming up short. I'm sure he is just fine with par on this one. Good birdie from Jesse gets him back to even.
Some cleanups here from the rest of our card. Heading into the last hole of the round.
Yeah, that hole 18 is a 775-foot par 4. Big downhill tee shot, looking to land it anywhere down here at the bottom of the hill. Setting up most likely this wide left to right moving shot into the green with a precariously placed basket. Just begging you to run that 35-footer death putt at the end of your round, trying to pick up that extra stroke down the stretch. Got to be one of the best finishing holes in all of disc golf, this one right here.
Yeah, it is definitely one of the ones that you might put on your dream 18, if you will. And great shot there from Jesse.
Yeah, you got everybody hanging out down below at the clubhouse, cheering on those inbounds shots. Such a cool thing to witness. Paul got a great round going right here. This one's moving a little left. He's going to need it to sit.
And it does. Finds that hill over there, some sticky grass. These players are making this tee shot look way easier than it is.
Yeah, it kind of looks pretty calm right now, which I think could be contributing to it. You know, you normally see a pretty good amount of wind coming across this fairway from right to left, which kind of can hold discs up and send them into the parking lot. But right now, looking pretty calm, so players can kind of trust their width on this one. Eli going big hyzer. See if he's got the width correct. Oh yeah, great shot.
Looks like Dylan's going this inside route. Needs to push a little bit and get in that local love. He'll be on circle's edge, it looks like.
Wow, that was a massive shot. So aggressive. From way up the fairway, probably 450 feet plus from there, giving himself a long look.
And this looks good as well. Oh, see, there's my commentator curse.
There we go. Yeah, it did look good, but just a little too much for Paul. Maybe flipping up a little more than he expected there. So now looking to save par to save his almost completely bogey-free. He had that early bogey on hole 2. Other than that, very solid round. Nice shot from Eli as well. Just on circle's edge for his birdie.
Jesse will have a little bit left to work with, but not too much to worry about. Scary putt.
Terrifying. Dylan does putt with some pretty overstable putters with a pitch putt, so he doesn't have to be too scared about what's behind the basket as long as that one checks up. And it does. Par save for Paul. He's been pretty good from circle 2 today, but didn't quite commit to that one, so that's going to be a tough bogey to finish his round after a really solid day.
This guy doesn't know what non-commitment means and walks away with another birdie.
Yeah, what a round of putting.
We need his putting distance on this event, I feel.
Yeah, well over 300 feet on the day for Eli, I am sure. Tough 3-putt for Dylan's going to drop him back to even par on the round. Jesse going to try to get himself to 1 under. Does just that with a great birdie on 18. Picking up 2 strokes on the field. And a nice back 9 for Jesse. 6 birdies on it. Just to fight himself back to 1 down is very solid.
And what a round here from Paul. Even after the bogey here on 18, 7 down is not anything you want to be ashamed of.
Yeah, that is an absolute heater for him. And a great way to start his tournament. Let's take a look here in a second how that stands up. Looking at our lead card first. 3 guys right around even par, and then your leader with the big 1 next to his name, Paul Krans, 7 under. Hot round to start this thing off. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's our leaderboard. Tomorrow, heading over into Brewster, we'll see Sage, who has also been putting his foot to the gas this whole round. And we have a tie for 3rd. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you come and watch the next one. And you know what? Subscribe while you're at it because I said so. Make sure.
Yeah, she said so.
I said so. Do it. See you the next time.